good.
Even though there's a little rubric, I'm not very strict on it. You can chime in whenever you want.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it too much.
I was gonna turn it on in case I laugh a lot because this is gonna be like the chill, late night chill game. But it's not late night for you guys.
Well, it is 8. A little bit late.
I mean, yeah, but it's 11 for me.
It's only 8 for me.
Oh, hey, we're live. What's up?
Oh, hey.
Welcome to Fortnite.
Epic Gamers.
But yeah, you thought you were getting OneShot, but this is actually Fortnite. My name is Konasumi, and with me I have my 2 co-commentators.
Base09.
I'm Lori D. Bunnykins.
Alright, let's begin.
Can't stop laughing.
So I guess we should clarify, this is a custom-made title screen.
Yeah.
At the beginning of last week, I accidentally learned how to make custom title screens when I made a promotional banner for the tournament and accidentally saved it over the title screen. And since then, we've kind of gone on a craze.
This is art.
I made this within the last hour. I hope you like it. But yeah, OneShot is a 2D adventure game that has some really unique meta elements to it and makes it a really unique speedrun. So we'll begin in 3, 2, 1, go. Wait a minute. Yeah, go.
Yeah. So, nice keyboard you got there.
I'll be mashing a lot. You'll be hearing my keyboard a lot during this run.
Yeah. Since this is, as Kona mentioned, kind of a more adventure-based game, there's a lot of dialogue, because there's a lot of world building in such a short run. So...
Plugging in the password here. 1562.
That isn't the password.
The password's randomly generated every run, so it's different every time.
There are 2 randomly generated passwords in this run. This first one is actually kind of interesting because this one is actually possible to input without getting the TV remote. Nobody does it though, because you have to be extremely lucky, obviously, to guess it.
This one's generated when you wake up, and the other code is generated when the code would be given to you anyway, so there's no point in not looking for it.
Yeah.
So in OneShot, there's a basic item inventory system as well as a crafting system. I used 2 of the items in the house to make a stick that I used to get an additional item. This is mainly a tutorial stage, and pretty soon we'll get into the main body of the game. And right now we're getting the light bulb, which is our main companion. This is known as the sun, and we have to return it to this world.
Yeah.
That's the main objective.
I guess we can talk about the story as much as we want, because we're going to skip a lot of text. Specifically when we get to dialogue selections. Dialogue selections, actually, I think we used to have to be careful with those, but there was a patch recently. So we don't have to talk about we don't have to talk about crashes, actually. Shit.
Thank God.
Oh, I shouldn't.
Recently being like literally yesterday.
Yeah. I've not even played with it yet. But
there used to be a high risk of crashing if you spammed really fast during dialogue options, but that was just fixed, thanks to the developers.
Yeah. So that's amazing. And right before the tournament start, too.
Yeah, Bliss, and Gur, and Eliza.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, this is the Barrens. It's the first main area of the game. We'll be encountering some of the main characters here, such as Profitbot. I'll be using dual indexes here to spam really fast.
Yeah, there are 2 buttons. You have a confirm and a cancel button, and both of them can go through text. So when you're going through text, you're going to be spamming both as much as possible.
You have to be careful here, especially because there's dialogue options. You want to pick the third one, because if you do the first one, by mashing too fast, you waste a bunch of time.
Yeah, you waste like a few seconds on that one.
This is the first sleep of the game. We save the game by going into beds, and it closes out the game, so we have to relaunch it. And after every relaunch, we get a dream sequence, and we talk to Nico for a bit about some of the lore.
Which
is dual indexing.
Yeah, again, this is a very story-driven game.
You're going to be seeing a lot of fast travel in this game. By going to the menu, you can fast travel to any part of the game. And there's a trick with that where it'll always take you to the same part of the map when you fast travel. So we use that to fast travel out of an area and then back into it to get further into it.
Yeah. Commonly referred to as super fast travel. That's just going to be absolutely amazing for navigation.
We're putting in the pipe to the little crusher here, and we make a crowbar out of it. It's really we're going to be using this a lot in the Barrens here.
One thing that's gonna pop up throughout this run is we're gonna be kind of getting a lot of small steps towards a major goal. So like with this crowbar, we're getting it now, but we're not gonna use it for like probably another minute or so.
Yeah, fast travel is so useful here.
It absolutely is. It just cuts out a ton of walking. There are some cutscenes you actually skip with it.
Yeah, there's a small one at the start of Glen.
Yep.
And this is Silver, who likes to talk a lot.
Silver is really interesting because she's the first character. There's a kind of really interesting story kind of element involving the way that the robots work in this game that I'm not going to go into because that would probably be going into the post-game chapter, which I don't want to spoil.
Yeah, even if you watch this game, there's a whole lot of the game that's not explored, so I'd highly recommend playing it still.
Yeah. And so it's really interesting because Silver's the first character that really can give you a lot of insight, even though Profitbot's the one that's like supposed to help you. Silver's the one that ends up being like introducing you to the first character that really is able to introduce you to big themes, but as such, that gives her a lot of dialogue.
Here's the first major crafting of the game, with crafting the charged battery.
Yeah.
And
Not too bad.
decent, not bad.
Yeah.
And now we
Use that
plugged
to
in
power
the
up the
battery to the
generator.
generator.
Yeah.
Which you use to turn on the computer, and that's how you get the code for the next part.
Yeah, and again, with that crafting, that's just what I was talking about earlier, how we're going to be getting a lot of small pieces to have one major breakthrough.
We aren't
It's
even
kind
done
of-
with that crowbar.
Yeah.
So here I'm gonna plug in a notepad code into the safe. It's 93827 Not bad.
Not an average code. It was an
Yeah.
average code, probably. Not fantastic, but it wasn't. There was no 4, 6, 5.
As little time as that code saves, we like to complain about safe RNG.
Yeah, we absolutely love to complain.
It's the one thing out of our control, so we can feel bad if we get bad
Yeah.
RNG. Then we use the gas mask that you get in that safe to not die when you go up here.
Yep.
If you went there too early, then Nico would say that they can't breathe.
Did you see it?
It's just horrible.
Oh man. Oh, I gotta catch my breath.
I can't breathe.
Professional speedrunners, ladies and gentlemen. So in that factory, which you missed, there's a couple notes telling you how to make a sponge to clean off rust from a robot. So we have to use those instructions to make a wet sponge, but we skipped those. Luckily, Conan knows the instructions. Be very fortunate if he didn't. The first step is to get some shrimps, which the shrimps are what you see in all of these little ponds, but there's one that you could grab right here in this big bubble.
I mean, you're not really grabbing the shrimps more than you are
Sucking them up.
grabbing the water from the
I can't deal with this.
Oh,
You can't take that off. If only Nico could play the rest of the game with the gas mask.
That is a good gas mask.
alright, now we can do a little combining here. Oh wait, did I actually get the syringe? I thought I had the syringe in my hand when I did
I think
this.
based on what I saw in that cutscene before you got the vent, you accidentally filled the bottle with water?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that explains it.
Yeah, we wanted to
Small
fill the
mistake.
syringe with the water from the pond
Slight
and the bottle
mismenu.
with the smoke from the vent.
And then you shake it and it makes a funny sound. Then you put it on the sponge. And you need the
Yeah.
gloves that you get in the factory in order to not burn your hands off. So forgetting those gloves is the big issue, which happens sometimes. But this is Robot, or what do you call him?
The
Robot.
Yeah,
Phil
this
Swift.
is a great character.
Yeah. I want to give a shout out to the current second place holder, Durbil, for photoshopping Phil Swift's flex tape boat onto this robot once, and it's the greatest image of all time.
It's the flex tape boat.
Yeah.
And this is the longest mashing section of the game, probably, right?
Yeah.
I'd assume so.
Hesitate to say the longest. Definitely,
The longest straight, just
I'd
mashing.
say it's one of
The other section I could think of was the elevator.
yeah. The elevator is what I was thinking of.
That
This
has
is
choices,
probably
so it's a
the
little broken
second.
up.
This is the second major mashing section.
Yeah. But you just sit there talking about chess for a while. Silver absolutely destroys you at chess every time.
I mean, it turns out
Feels
she's
bad.
a robot, so. But
That
yeah,
is
that's a world building thing.
There we
Conan
go.
not equipping the amber. Unfortunate. The robot needs the amber to figure out where the Glen is.
Yeah.
To update his memory bank. But now we're off to the second area of the game, the Marshy Glen.
The Glen is a really beautiful area. I like
It
it
is
more
very-
than the
That's my
Ferns.
favorite area.
It has my favorite character in the game, who
We're gonna
is the
meet
sibling
my-
of everybody else's favorite character.
Yeah, we'll get another
Yeah.
title card here in a moment, showing the area. All the art in this
Yeah.
game was made by Night Margin. And
Yeah.
It's really beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely.
These panoramics at the start of every area are stunning. You get a real feel for the Glen with the refuge sitting in the background there.
Hmm.
Yeah, this fast travel, once you get down the bridge, actually skips a small cutscene.
Yeah.
Just do that real fast.
And then Calamus is here.
You just talk to him
So-
real
looking for his
fast.
sister.
Calamus is kind of worried right now because he doesn't know where his sister is. So that's kind of the first thing we're given in the Glen is that, hey, someone's missing a sister. And that's not a good thing, I can tell you.
This robot walking into Kona's path twice. Very unfortunate. We all
Oh my
hate that
god!
robot.
The block robot!
I got double blocked.
It's the worst robot in the game.
I actually
It
don't
has
think I've
no
ever seen a
character.
double block.
I have.
Oh, okay. Apparently, I'm not
It
experienced
happened
enough.
to me a lot when I started running, but not anymore.
Apparently,
It's been
I'm
a
not
while.
experienced enough.
You're not bad enough to get double blocked. Then
So-
we're gonna meet Maze, who's a very interesting character.
Yeah. That's kind of the bigger problem with this run. Although it still is a lot of fun in a run, there are a lot of things in this game that purely exist for the world building. And so you just kind of mash through something that isn't the most relevant in the world otherwise. But it is kind of relevant in the fact that it changes kind of the tone as we have to leave the sun with her here in order to advance.
And you can see just how much darker the world already is around you. There's kind of
Yeah.
a glow that Nico has that's gone. We're
That's
coming
something
up
real-
on the first tile puzzle.
Yeah, this will be fun. This one's really fun to execute. Stepping on tiles.
Walk on them once, and then they turn on, walk on them again, they turn on. Pretty simple stuff. You
Oops.
have to make a little light bulb pattern here,
There we
or
go.
try to.
Slight miss error, but we're good. We're about to talk to Alula, who we just saved.
You notice the squares blocking the doorway where Lula was, similar to the squares you saw over the safe if you were paying attention.
Yeah, the
One of the parts
squares.
of the world building.
Yeah, the squares are another thing I'm not going to talk about because post-game chapter.
Yeah, that
Yep.
goes into big spoiler territory there.
Yeah,
That'll be something that you can notice a few times throughout the game, though.
I don't know. Maybe if we rally hard enough, we can learn about that post-game chapter next time. Who knows? Nobody runs it because it's literally a lot of extra cutscenes.
It's a lot of extra mashing and
Nobody-
a lot of a skip that we do one time in this run or twice in this run. The next step is Rams with
Twice.
epic route discovered by Base 09.
Yeah. So this
On
is
accident.
the story behind this one. Okay, so this is kind of a Pokemon strength puzzle type thing. And the story behind this one is I was once rerouting this, and I saved like I think 3 steps and 1 run step, based on probably accurate math because I'm great at timing things. 1 step of running in this game is about 10 frames. So I found one that saved about half a second because it saved 3 steps. And Baster was like, my route's probably terrible. And I was like, let me look at your route. And it was faster than my new route.
By like a good amount too, I think.
No,
By,
it was only by like
a few steps. I think it had like
no,
one
it
less
was-
ram push or something.
Yeah, it was 2 more steps, but it was 1 less ram
Yeah.
push. So it saved 14 frames.
Yeah, which you notice the rams take more time to push.
Yeah.
You see there, if you're not careful with mashing there, you can accidentally say no to this, and then you have to fast travel to this location, and it takes like 15 seconds.
Yeah.
We've all lost runs to mashing too hard and skipping this.
It's very easy to do if you're not paying attention.
The real alpha move is text crashing, but we can't do that anymore.
We
Yeah,
don't
what's
do that
that?
anymore, it's gone.
Yeah.
Then you get the feather, the second glowing item.
Mhm.
And then you have to grab the light bulb. It's kind of a joke in the community where if you can progress the game without grabbing the light bulb, but then later a character will say, "Aren't you forgetting something?"
I
It's kind of a
cannot
joke.
really remember the last time I've seen someone forget the light bulb.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. It used to be a prominent thing. It used to be a prominent thing back when Derb was pushing for the first
Yeah.
26. And now the game's at like mid 25, which is crazy.
So that glowing yellow diamond there is actually the difference between 90% and 100% in this game. Not gonna talk too much about that, but
100% is
if
a
you're
meme.
curious, it is a meme. But you know, it's a cute little thing.
Basically, if there's a category that's not any percent, we're probably gonna trash it. Like, this is a really fun speed game if you're playing any percent, but in the opinions of a few people, there's just not a lot to this game. Running other categories, it just loses a lot of entertainment value.
That's the one that I'd say I'd be interested to get into. The glitches category for this game, the only thing it does is it doesn't do one skip, which skips a completely RNG-based puzzle. It's very frustrating.
I mean, the RNG-based puzzle isn't the problem, it's just that the route just goes
Oh yeah, no,
awful.
it's just annoying. It's just a lot more doing stuff you don't have to do normally. That
Yeah,
one
it's just-
puzzle does what really annoys me.
Yeah, there's a strategy to consistently get that puzzle within one cycle.
So
Yeah,
if you try to go up here earlier without the feather pen, the robot would say no. You need
Yeah.
to sign this here. Hero or not.
You do need to get this scroll sign.
And now we're about to enter the refuge, which is the last main area of the game.
Yeah. It's really pretty.
The world
Not
of this game
four
is in a
squares.
the world of the game is in a circular shape, and the refuge is at the innermost part of the circle, and it's also where the tower is located.
Yep, the tower right smack dab in the middle, which you're going to see the big purple rectangle sticking up in this panoramic is the tower.
You guys want to hear an awful story?
Sure.
Absolutely.
There's a hint in the game that talks about floor patterns, and I got really confused and thought the room that it was in was the room to enter the tower. So I thought the solstice door was the tower, and I had to like look up a guy and just like I felt like an idiot.
Yeah, I got stuck trying to activate Solstice first time. This is the next character in the game, the Lamplighter.
Yeah. Fortunately, we know which doors are real doors now.
Most of us, some of us,
Some of us.
On occasion.
Some of us go in the wrong doors.
all the time. Or the wrong fast travel
So,
locations.
fun fact, you might remember at the beginning of the Glen, we skipped a cutscene by fast traveling, like the one we saw when we reached that first part of the elevator deck. The elevator deck is a really weird checkpoint, in that it's like the only fast travel point in the whole game that you don't get from entering the screen, but we get it from when we talk to that button panel on the elevator.
So if you
So
try
we
to
can't
skip
skip
anything
that
out of
cutscene
order,
there.
yeah.
And we can't super fast travel there. However, we can super fast travel to the cafe where we get this can.
What's also interesting is this, which you're going to see in a second after this dream, is that this is the only bed area that you can fast travel right out of.
Yeah,
It's
so
not
we
really
can't
its own
fast travel
area.
indoors.
Yeah, it's not its own area. There's no way to fast travel to it, but you can fast travel out of it, which is interesting.
Yeah,
A little weird. Don't know why that's there, but it's
This
there and we
game's-
like it.
really weird.
It's
But
too
hey,
fan.
fast traveling's nice.
Talk about pancakes.
Everyone
Yeah.
loves pancakes.
Especially Nico. There is a part in the game where Nico wants pancakes, and we don't get to give them pancakes.
Pancakes are slow,
Pancakes are slow.
so Nico has to starve, unfortunately, for a little bit.
I mean, run's only like 3.5, 4 minutes longer.
Yeah, I think Nico can wait.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're just walking through the apartment complex, getting some items to repair the elevator.
There's some
Yeah.
very funny characters through these doors that we're going to skip, including a Roomba.
Yeah, the Roomba is one of my favorite parts of this game.
The Roomba's great. The Roombas are my sub badges.
Yeah, so the Roomba's your thumb badge, right, Lori? Yeah.
Yeah. I recolored them to be bronze, silver, and gold for the 3, 6, and
Pretty
12
epic.
months.
I think we've talked about
Is there-
making a pancake percent category.
I don't think we've talked about pancake percent. The only
We
like,
have,
special
just like as a
category.
meme, though.
Okay, I've missed this. The only special category I've ever made for a meme event in the game has been RAM percent.
Pretty good meme.
Which, if you remember the puzzle, if you say no to the die that you used to make the pen, back in when getting the
That's the merchant there.
pen, you can get a T-shirt, and if you use that T-shirt on a special door in the refuge, you can get access to the Ram Club. And there's a lot of puns in there.
It's pretty good. So here we're going to put the button back into the elevator, but it doesn't work quite as we hope.
Not really.
But this code is always the same. There's a fun little solution to solving it, but it's the same, so we don't need to do it.
I'd like to give a shout. Speaking of the elevator button being weird, I'd like to give another shout out. Like, probably my third shout out in this run to our second place runner Durbill,
Dur.
who in a marathon race once against Durbill, he actually got a special item in the game called "You Tried."
That's funny.
If you put the magnet and the part of the can together and don't tape it like Kona went to the office to do, when you try and put the button in, you'll get an item called "You Tried" as a return. And then if you tape the "You Tried," it works as normal again. But
This is kind of an awkward section because you have to mash quickly while doing the dialogue options. You have to do all three of them.
yeah, you
Very
can.
easy to screw up.
Yeah, there's a button at the bottom that says "Resume the Silence." If you resume the silence, it's just a certain amount of time until the cutscene ends. However, if you do all the dialogue options, the cutscene will also end. And if your mashing is good enough, which it's really
It's
hard
pretty
to
easy to
not
do,
have it be
yeah.
good enough, all the dialogue options will be through before the pause will be over.
So here we're going to see Kona running around to grab all these fast travel locations.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're
We're gonna
setting
see
up
the one
for a
skip in the game.
glitch.
Yeah.
The
This
one
is,
difference between that makes this an 80% category, not a glitchless.
Yeah.
Alright, let's see if it works.
Walking or running?
I'm the only
I'm
one
walking.
crazy enough to do running.
Alright, let's see if
When
it
you-
works.
you can- You see Kona walking there, and if you can run there and save like a couple frames, and no one does it because it's not worth it, but I
Yeah.
do.
So,
Oh, I got 2 George.
to George. Okay, so I guess should I talk a lot about what just happened and
Yeah,
what
go
we're
for it.
talking about now?
Sure.
All right, I'll go for it. I'll try and talk fast. So we did a skip. Okay, so as we mentioned several times, you have to sleep in the game, and that automatically closes the game and saves it. However, because in the original version of the game, if you close the game without a bed, Nico would die. However, since this is a game you paid money for on the Steam version, that doesn't happen. So instead, Nico just kind of gets really scared. When walking onto a tile, if you close the game mid-movement, that cutscene where Nico gets scared will start as soon as she lands on the tile. This will override any cutscene, and when you kind of intersect with where that desk would go, there is a cutscene that tells the game to push Nico back one if they do not have an item, specifically the library card. However, by playing a different cutscene over that cutscene, we don't get the action to be pushed back, so we can just walk right through without having to get the
There we
library
go.
card, saving a lot of time. And we're leaving George now.
You have to do
which-
this skip twice, by the way, because you have to do it going in and then going out.
Yeah, you can enter the desk from either side, so instead of pushing you in a certain direction, it literally just says backwards from where you entered, so you do have to do it twice. So that character we talked to that gave us the third item was George. Translated the journal we got in the Barrens for us. But George, we mentioned 2. So George is a dice. So dice have six different sides. It's random which side you'll get in terms of every time you play the game, a different head will show up. And some have more text than others. 2 is the second slowest.
Oof.
But
It's only
not
like a couple
3.
second difference.
It's not
but
George 3. So
That's another
it's fine.
thing that we like to complain about losing time on for no reason.
Yes.
Now Kona's entering the tower.
Final
Yeah,
area of the game.
Yeah. I mentioned George translated the journal, which told us we needed 3 items with yellow phosphor, which are the golden glowing items that we got, and that's also why George gave us a 3rd glowing item.
And the game actually does check you have all 3, not even just the last item. So even if you manage to skip 1 or 2 of the items, you need all 3.
Really?
Yep.
I actually never knew that.
Yep. We were talking about ways to skip parts of the Glen. That's something that always comes up. Because you can use the skip that we do to skip the book bot, and to skipping the library card. You can use that to get kind of semi out of bounds. And there's talk about even if that did happen, we need to get the feather anyways.
Oh, okay. So it hasn't been 100% tested. It's just
No.
probably.
I think it's something Gur said.
Okay.
Or one of the devs
Yeah,
of this
you can
game.
trust that guy.
I don't know if we can. He said text crashing was gone. I still text crashed.
Oof.
Oof.
So the reason, if you're familiar with the game, you're not supposed to come back here immediately. That's because I have the Clover window open all the time, so I don't have to deal with that.
Little external program that's in the game files. Another little meta element.
Mm-hmm.
And then coming up to the tower, a massive labyrinth with all kinds of different puzzles.
Yeah, that Clover application we mentioned will help you through. Kind of, it will show you the way if you equip the Clover in your inventory and then line up a little Clover cutout on the application with the Clover in your inventory. It'll guide you the right way. However, it's not random, so instead we're just going to memorize it.
It is a very cool little system, though, for figuring out the different paths.
Yeah.
These are all numbered.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, the way that
The
we
way we
number is
like
we have a number for all these doors going left to right.
Yeah. So, like, the leftmost door would be door 1, and the rightmost door would be whatever, the number of how many doors are in the room. I love the number. I'm going to wait until Kona's out of this section to actually say the number out loud.
Yeah, I'm in.
There you go.
Okay. The number is... I don't know actual words, so I'm just going to say all the single digits. It's 23121224223142232. I love saying that out loud.
That's impressive that you know off the top of your head.
This pattern might be wrong, but we'll see what happens.
It is
slightly
wrong.
Yep, I
They
got it.
needed one more.
Yeah.
But there's a bunch of, there's like
You can
4
grab it
different
all the
tile
way.
puzzles here.
Yeah, you can
This
just
is
go around the outside.
This is like a bigger version of the tile puzzle from Freeing the Lula. There's 4 of them, and they're all a little bit different and difficult. This light bulb is notorious for killing runs.
Alright, I hope I'm doing this right. Being a little less
Yeah.
efficient.
The light bulb here is
Got it. Nice.
nice.
Super easy to mess
Pretty
it up.
good. Very
yeah,
easy,
this is,
yep.
You have to do a lot of like long lines followed by a lot of really sudden turns. So it's very easy to lose a run here. And at this point, there's literally like nothing that can slow you down.
Yep, that's it.
So that thing being the last part that can slow you down is scary because that's a really easy thing to
It's
mess
one
up.
of the hardest parts of the game for sure. Just being able to do that
Yeah.
quickly.
So,
But that's it. This is the final countdown. Back at the house, everyone's favorite part of the game.
Yeah. So we're gonna do a lot of mashing through the little Windows pop-ups here. This is actually where I recommend changing default controls. So I think Kona mostly uses default controls.
Except for this here.
Except, yeah, if you use Enter to spam through these, and Enter is a default pause button, so you could very easily pause a lot here. It took a while to develop the idea to unbind Enter, but it just makes that last section easier. A lot of people end up using keyboard in this game, because you're gonna have to do a lot of stuff with your mouse anyways.
Pretty much everyone except for the third place runner, whom
Yeah, whom is DS does not do that, but basically everybody else does.
And then we're
Time's
going to
coming
see
up
one
pretty
final
soon.
choice.
Yeah, we get to choose an ending.
Very Dark Souls.
Which ending are you gonna choose?
I think I'll let chat decide.
Chat.
First message I
Which
see chooses the ending. Which one?
I'm not gonna message.
I'm not going to message you. I thought about it.
Which one? Come on,
This
chat.
affects the ending cutscene. I personally return the sun most of the time.
I don't. Link the fire.
Go home? Okay, time.
Dark Lord ending. Dog ending.
Screen shaking there.
Yeah.
This is definitely the more meta ending. If you choose other ending, you see a bunch of
That was
places
a very
with the sun lighting it up.
dramatic screen shake. I feel like I don't remember it being like
Yeah,
that.
that's a lot slower.
I blame the patch.
But yeah, that was OneShot. This game is really
Yeah.
fun.
Absolutely.
Go check it out, even
So
after
what was
watching this run.
the final time?
2904.
2904
It was a 29.
Low 29.
is also your seating.
That puts you
Run,
seventh,
right?
actually.
Nice.
Nice.
Because iPie got 27.
Oh yeah, huh?
But you paused a little bit to choose an ending, so it was
True,
probably like
true.
a high 28 more than anything.
Yeah.
Not bad.
But still, would be 7th.
So, speaking of which, we're talking about seeding and stuff. With Kona's run done, we now have matchups, because starting Monday, we're going to be hosting a tournament of this game on Speed Gaming. So, if you want to watch more runs of this, definitely look at that schedule, look at those channels. This is way, in my opinion, way better to watch in a race.
Yes.
Yeah,
This is
definitely.
a crazy good race game so that's definitely, if you liked this run, you're probably gonna love.
Especially due to how close this game can be, due to the fact that everyone does the same strats. It's all about just execution and mashing.
Absolutely. Speaking of mashing, so now that seeds are done, we do know who's gonna face who.
I'm facing Crudes.
You're facing the world record holder, and then Kona, you're facing whom?
Oof.
So
I was poised to take 4th seed, which
And then
Lori
I
has
came
right
in.
now. And then Lori decided to get really good at the game for some reason. After not PBing for how long?
okay, well, I hadn't PB'd for over here, and then I PB'd in May, and then I haven't PB'd since May, and I
Since
PB'd
May,
at the beginning of the month.
Like 4 times, including the last one being like a 18-second PB or something?
Yeah, the one that I broke 26 on was a 19-second PB.
And I'm still stuck in the 27s barely.
Yeah,
Should have
you're
tied
getting
your
really
run.
close, though.
I should have tied your run.
Should have
But that's
tied it,
another
but
story.
yeah. So,
Good thing we didn't tie though. That would have been awkward for seeding.
oh my god,
The
we would
sage
have
was
to done
not
like a
found.
tiebreaker.
But yeah, final notes. I would recommend this game to anyone, especially casually. It is an amazing game casually.
Yep.
Especially the part that we didn't get to see with the
Yeah.
New Game Plus, kind of.
Yep.
It's on Steam.
It's-
I think it's on sale at the moment, or it just was on sale. One
I
of
think
the
it
two.
just was on sale.
That was like
Okay.
what, $5 or something?
But
This
it's
game
not-
goes for 10, and I'd say it's
Is it 10? That's
definitely
right.
worth it. Shout outs to the
That's silent.
developers for being
Mm-hmm.
super supportive of the speedrunning community.
Yes.
Yep, 2 of them in our Discord for speedrunning.
Yeah, and check
Yeah.
out our Discord on the speedrun.com page for OneShot.
I guess if you want, there is a general Discord for this game, although it's not really, the speedrun community isn't centered in there, but it's just a more general community if you want to talk
Yeah,
more about this game.
Discord.gg/OneShot.
I don't know, are you two both in there?
No, not anymore.
Not
Actually, I think I
anymore.
am. I think I am. I
Okay,
have
so
it
both
muted.
of you have since left.
I have it just for the emotes.
Yeah.
Emote's
Oh,
pretty
okay,
good.
that makes sense.
Anyway, that's all I got. Take us away, Boix.
Yep.
Alright, let's go ahead and get set up for Dive Kick here with Raging Cherry. That'll be the last run of